Yep.
I know you have a plan.
I mean,
I know you do.
it's to dive in.
You got a plan.
That's my plan.
Go with your plan. Alrighty, okay. And gentlemen, let us know when you are ready to start rolling.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing,
We've
1, 2,
talked
3.
about Pet Med Labs and how they have the
CBDs and ECS.
ABC, CBD.
Is the AC going to be a factor or not?
Yeah, we gotta wait for it to shut off. You turn it off, but then it takes a second. Yeah, that's fine.
See how I checked for the mic before we started?
Oh, right.
So as to not blow it?
Natasha?
Nothing. I'm just talking about how smart I am.
Okay.
Wait, this is the forward, this is the back.
She's everything.
Okay, here we go. Cameras are rolling. Quiet on set. And action.
We've talked about how Pet Med Labs uses the highest grade, safest, most pure CBD that you can find, made from hemp, no THC, just really, really great ingredients for your dogs. I want to know, how do you give it to your dog? How do you administer it? What does Pet Med Labs use?
One of the most used products is the treat. Right, it's fun to give. It maintains that bond, and it keeps the pet going from underneath of the couch when they want to give medications. But the edible treat is one of the most common products that we have. There's a couple more as well.
Well, the treats. Let's just start with the treats because I know that's kind of like the big, wonderful. I mean, I'm really excited about the treats. Everyone could use them. Everyone likes them. But also, this is something that I like about the treats is it's something that a lot of people probably already have. They're probably already using treats at home, but they may not be the right treats. So tell me what makes Pet Med Labs treats so much better than maybe your brand name or your store-bought treats.
Well, the first and most important thing is that it is veterinarian formulated. So veterinary formulated, completely pure, gluten-free, grain-free, preservative-free, filler-free, all those things we know pets can react to.
So you say we know, but maybe not everyone does know. Gluten-free, grain-free, I hear that a lot in human diets, but that's not good for pets?
Well, it depends on the individual, of course. But one of the things that we wanted to do when formulating this product is make it very, very pure so that no matter what problems the pet currently has, we can at least give it safely.
So I don't think a lot of people know that pets don't really digest grains that well. That's something that I think is maybe not as well, talked about. And I didn't even know until I gave my dog an allergy test. And when we were trying to figure out what was wrong with her, and it came back that she, was allergic to pretty much all grains. Right. And I thought, wow, that's a pretty, expansive amount of allergies. And I was told, and in learning about that, that's most dogs to some degree will have an intolerance, whether it's a full allergy or they just don't digest it well. And do you find grains in lots of dog treats?
There are a lot of fillers. There are a lot of things that shouldn't be there. And yes, dogs maybe wouldn't eat a corn off of a cob, but in the wild environment, a carnivore would eat the contents of an herbivore's stomach. So that's a very common thing for them to do. So grains aren't terrible. It's just the way that they're delivered. But if you pick up any bag of dog food, any treat on the market, you'll see the list of ingredients that are there, and half of them you can't even pronounce. Half of them I can't even pronounce, even with the training of it. But to be able to pick a product up and for it to only have pure ingredients, 100% beef products and 100% cannabinoid, full spectrum phytocannabinoid products, it's as good as it can get.
So you just said 2 ingredients. Is that it? That's all that's in the treats?
That's it.
So when we're saying that we don't want the grains, the fillers, the words we can't pronounce, you're saying we have just the CBD, which is what we're looking for, and then the purest form of administering it, just pure. I mean, it's beef. Yes, it's beef liver.
Yep.
And what kind of quality grade of beef liver are we talking about?
Well, the best kind, the human kind. The
So-
ones that we would eat, right? The human grade beef liver, that's it.
So you have a USDA stamp, which means someone has said this is human grade beef liver.
Yes.
And that's what Pet Med Labs is using with the CBDs for their treats. That is their CBD treats, their go-to product.
Correct. The government has said it's good enough for you and I, and we're saying, well, gosh, it is probably good enough for Fluffy then.
I will say, I mean, my dog's name is Bee, not Fluffy, but
Right.
all things considered, that is one of the only meats that they say no matter what she won't have any allergies to is beef and beef liver. And it's bizarre because sometimes dogs even have problems with chicken or poultry, turkey, but beef is one of the go-tos. It is the least common, at least from what I understand. Beef is a very safe treat no matter what.
It's safe. And what's important to understand too about this product is that there's only one protein source, so single source protein. When a pet does become allergic to their food, one of the first things that we change is the protein source. So if the food is chicken and rice, we're going to change from chicken to beef. So that's the most important thing that we actually change when a pet becomes allergic to the food that they're on. So this isn't multiple sources of protein. There's only one source of protein in this product.
Very simple, very safe. You know exactly what you're getting, and it's exactly what you want.
Yes.
It's just the CBD and the beef liver, and that is the Pet Med Labs CBD treats.
Yes.
The go-to, the bread and butter of it all without any bread or any butter. Okay, so what about if a dog is aging and we want something a little bit more for senior canine treats?
Right. So there's also a senior treat that Pet Med Labs has developed, and it's added ginseng. I'm going to do my answer again. What else did I add?
Go ahead.
Ginseng.
Ginseng, ginger root, and nattokinase. You know
Nattokinase.
what that is? That is a soybean product, and it's really
Yes, thank you.
Oh, I did not know that.
It's why Japanese people don't get heart attacks.
Right. Okay, so ginseng,
Ginseng, ginger root, and nattokinase.
GGN. This is how I got through vet school. GGN. Ginseng, ginger root, and nattokinase.
I looked it up. I had to look it up.
Okay.
I can't pronounce it.
Do we know what ginger root does for animals?
Important things.
Okay, good, important. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, so.
as long as you know.
All right, so Pig,
Yep.
Natasha, perfect. But that, by the way, you guys were fantastic on the treat.
Okay.
Great.
One take.
Oh my goodness.
Great. So what if we have a dog that's aging and we want to give them just a little bit more of an advantage with their aging bodies, and not just the canine treat, but some extra goodness? What do we have for that?
Well, that's a question near and dear to my heart, of course. So we have also developed a senior product, which is the normal treat product, but simply added ginseng, ginger root, and something called nattokinase, which is very good for the cardiovascular system.
So I know I've heard of ginseng, which is something good for, is that for your mind? It's good to help you remember things? Is that what that?
It's good for our neurological system and even actually for the gastrointestinal system as well.
Wow. So you've thought about what an aging dog might need, and given that little extra bit of the ginseng, you said, ginger root, and nattokinase, you said that was for their...
For cardiovascular function.
Wow. So they're also getting the CBD.
Yes, which is also good for the cardiovascular function. You know, it helps reduce inflammation in the arteries. It helps maintain, again, that homeostasis, making sure, the limbs are properly vascularized as, of course, we get older.
Right. So I love the idea of giving a dog a multivitamin that is the multivitamin they need. And I know dogs don't like to take vitamins, but the idea of giving a dog a multivitamin in the form of pure beef liver treat, it just seems like something that all dogs are going to be interested in wanting to eat. It's not like medicine.
Right. My human kids don't like to take their medicine as well, but my non-human kids take this medicine very, very well.
And just while we're speaking about the senior canine treats, we've talked about how there can be a situation where certain dogs, as they become older, maybe they're not taken to the vet as often because it can become expensive and more things can start to, slowly break down in animals as well as humans, of course. But do you think that having a treat like this is a good preventative way to keep your dog healthy longer, especially a senior dog?
It really is, and not even just healthy, but also comfortable. There are certain processes, and it's important to remember that sickness and death don't happen because medicine failed. They happen because it's the natural progression of biology. But for us to support the biological systems that are already there in a very comfortable and safe way, it really makes the bond that we have with our pet, the process of giving a treat very easy, and keeps the family together happier for as long as possible.
See, I love that idea of keeping the family together. I love that you include pets as a part of the family. I think it's one of the reasons that I love all the work that you do, and of course Pet Med Labs as well. And for me, family can sometimes be a little bit on the expensive side. We talked a lot about how getting to a certain point, dogs can take a certain toll financially on a family. And now with these treats, maybe they're a little bit more expensive than your go-to over-the-counter treats that you would find. But why is that, and why do you think that's still a good bargain value over time?
You know, it's interesting when I recall my experience doing emergency medicine and how many times someone would come in after giving a very cheap medicine, but now they have an expensive veterinary bill because they haven't given the right dosage in the right way, and certainly not the right medicine to begin with. So having the right products to begin with really help us treat in the most appropriate way. And let me also tell you, as a veterinarian, I have found, and especially doing what I do, going to families' homes, what someone can afford and what they are willing to afford are very different things.
And especially with dog food, when I think about what other people versus, okay, so here's the situation. I'll just very quickly share with you. My dog is one of 2 in a litter that my sister has, and I have the other one. And that's a perfect example of having an experiment where they came from the same genetics, but they're fed different diets. It's purely different diets. And my dog only has pure beef liver treats. These treats are exactly what my dog is eating, whereas my sister's dog, same breed, same age, born on the same day, is having over-the-counter brand name treats with fillers and with lots of chemicals added in. And that dog already has tumors right beneath the skin. That dog has diabetes. That dog has asthma problems. And it's all of these different parts of the ECS, the endocannabinoid system, that are degenerating at a much faster rate than her sister, which is being fed just pure beef liver treats.
Right.
And that just says so much about where value can really lie.
It is, and,
Right.
and all those things are very, very hard all those things are extremely hard to prove, right?
Sure.
And it goes back to the statement that I read years ago, which is that genetics load the gun and environment fires it. So whether or not those things are causing it, if it's a cause and effect or simply a correlation,
Right.
but when you give something pure, when you give something that you know doesn't have any of these negative things, then you have the best genetic probability of having your pet as healthy as possible for as long as possible.
Yes.
Keep rolling.
We're going to move to the flakes.
Yeah, actually, I want to save that for last. So go to the canine CBD spray, and then we'll do the pill pocket, then we'll do the
Okay, great.
Yep.
pill.
Okay, great.
Go to the spray.
So obviously I'm a big fan of the treats. I think that they're excellent. Just out of curiosity, could you give a younger dog the senior canine treats if you have 2 dogs that are different ages?
Absolutely. There's
Okay.
no negative effects at all. Absolutely.
Okay, fantastic. So we have these, I think, pretty much perfect dog treats. And what if you're not going to be giving your dog beef liver, or what if you want to just have a pure administration of the CBD without using the treat? Does Pet Med Labs have options for that, and what are they?
There is. So one of my favorite personal options is the spray. So this spray can be put on other foods. Just for example, my own dog has diabetes. So she's on a very, very specific diet that helps regulate her blood glucose on a daily basis. So everything that she ingests is extremely important for me to regulate. So she's on this specific food, is perfect for her at this stage of her life. So for me to add on something else, simply with a spray onto her already formulated diet, it's the best case scenario for me.
And also it helps you to save money if you know that other dogs, or even if your dog already really likes one food and you don't want to change the food, well, you don't have to change it up. You can just add the spray on top of what they're already eating and already love.
Right, exactly.
So that's wonderful. That seems like a very easy way to administer it. What else do we have for just giving the pure CBD to pets other than the spray?
So there's also something that I'm incredibly excited about that the team has put together is basically a pill pouch. So, of course, when a pet's age and there's more medication that we have to give, and, we've talked about these things, sometimes having a way to give the medicine and sometimes having a way to give the medicine that actually makes administering that medication fun and exciting and maintains that bond is so easy for the family and of course, for the pet taking it.
You said pill pouch. I'm thinking like what someone keeps their pills in to know when to take them. What is a pill pouch in terms of how you give a pill?
Right, so if you imagine basically like a bacon wrapped around a pill, right? It'd be the perfect way to give a treat, which also has the medicine in it for the pet. So it's a little pouch that you can put other pills into, kind of close it up, and then give it to your pet, and then they just gobble it right up.
Oh, got it. Wow. So a really nice way to give the CBD to the pet without there ever being, I think you said something about how it can affect a family. No one wants to try to force a pill into an animal's, mouth or anything like that. It's hard enough for me just to try to file my dog's nails. So, and yes, I file my dog's nails, and I'm very good at it.
So much Dremel, so it's okay.
Yes. So the pill pouch, the CBD pill pouch, is a great way to administer the CBD without there being any fuss or even potentially anything that is hard on the family to force a dog to eat anything. No one likes that.
Right.
But it's nice and simple. And then you also have the spray that you can put on any food you already have or treats you already have. But of course, it's even better because you have the treats, the actual CBD canine treats, both for the senior dogs and not for the senior dogs. All 4 of these products are fantastic. I know that you have one more product that is not CBD based, but something that any pet lover might be interested in, which might help to cure a different thing that sometimes pet owners struggle with. And what is that?
Yep, absolutely. So rare is it that pets don't want to eat, but sometimes it is important that they do eat. Again, going back to my diabetic dog, she has to eat at a very particular time. So for me to have some flakes, some actual flavor flakes that you can place on top of their food, it really just gets them excited about their food. And it's interesting because my other younger dog, who sits right next to my older dog, he waits for his flakes to be put on his food before he eats as well.
Let me keep going, but let's call the product Appetite Flakes.
Okay.
Appetite flakes.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's just label it out.
Okay.
So you have one dog that wants the flakes, and so you have one dog that really wants to eat once these appetite flakes are put onto the food, which is excellent because maybe sometimes I know that you can have a picky dog eater. I know sometimes you can have a picky dog eater or maybe an anxious dog, which guilty. So if I'm not home and someone else is trying to feed her, she may not want to eat because I'm not there.
Right.
So you're saying that you guys have these appetite flakes that are made with
Yeah, the pure beef isolate. So it's
Wow.
still a very, very pure product, that human grade. And to literally, all you have to do is just, sprinkle them on the pet's food. And it's fantastic, again, for me in my home because my diabetic dog, she has, a very particular food but has some wet food in it. But my younger dog, he just needs dry food. It's better for his teeth. It's formulated perfectly for him. But they both get excited about their food and they both just dig in.
So with these appetite flakes, you're going to be able to have a dog eat when maybe they normally wouldn't, or eat at a certain time that you can now control. And I also like the idea, I don't know if you've ever noticed, maybe guys do this too. I know my boyfriend's done this, where they may not be hungry, but once they have a bite, they're going to eat everything.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, they just start going for it. Yeah.
So I think this is really nice if you have a dog that just needs to get started on maybe a healthy food or a meal they should be eating. You put some of these appetite flakes on top. Once they take the first couple bites, they're eating the food they're supposed to be eating now.
And especially if other medicine is hidden in that food. Which
so
then
sneaky.
helps us regulate. We have to be sneaky in veterinary medicine. We have to get this stuff into them.
Yeah.
But helps us regulate when those medicines are being taken in and at the right time.
Yeah.
Keep going and do a little chat about Appetite Flakes and senior dogs. We've found in our experience and addresses.
Right.
Sometimes lose their appetites or not eating enough, and to incentivize a senior dog is another way to do it.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, perfect.
So I know that these appetite flakes are great for any dogs, whether they're finicky or even, having a little bit of anxiety. But what about as dogs are aging? Does that sometimes affect an appetite for a dog as it gets older?
Yeah, absolutely. And just like it can for humans as well. So as pets age, they can sometimes just reduce their desire to eat, which is fine. It's a normal thing. But as long as we can keep them eating at a regular pace for a certain percentage of the time, it helps keep their energy up. It helps keep them wanting to be motivated to engage with the family.
You're keeping their energy up, and you're also administering more food and hopefully, ideally, more vitamins and more strength for them to be able to have healthier, more vibrant lives. So just getting an older dog, a senior dog, to eat in itself, it can be difficult, but with these appetite flakes, you're really on your way much easier.
No, you're right. And the appetite flakes help us keep a balanced diet going for these older senior pets for a little bit longer. And then particularly, when we see a family with euthanasia, a lot of times they'll ask us, well, can my pet still eat? And we say, absolutely. Go to Burger King, go to McDonald's. Bring your pet on these last few days. Take them anywhere just to get them whatever they want to eat. But these appetite flakes help us they help us bridge that gap a little bit longer so that we can keep a balanced diet in them for just a little bit more time.
So speaking of balanced diet, what if I took the appetite flakes and sprinkled them onto my pet's normal food and then gave my pet a CBD canine treat,
Mm-hmm.
and then also sprayed some spray. I'm not saying I would, but is that dangerous? What if someone didn't know when they gave them 2 treats after you had given them a treat? Can we have too much of this? Is it dangerous for a dog?
Well, the word dangerous is it going to cause something that negatively affects the
Right,
health? No.
right.
Right. No, it's not going to cause something it's not going to cause a negative effect to the health at all. It is best to find that sweet spot with your pet, and every pet owner is going to see that in the home, even better than the veterinarian is going to see.
So, I know some people may be worried, oh no, what if the kid gives, too many of these treats or sprays something? You're not going to have to worry about anything happening with the dog that's dangerous. It's totally safe. You just still may want to find what the right amount of administration is to make your dog the most happy and
Right.
comfortable.
Even if it's hot dogs, right? We don't want to give the dog too many hot dogs. We'll just make sure that the pet's ingesting the right amount at the right time,
Right.
simply to maintain that healthy level of ingestion for the pet.
But someone could order all of these different products and even sometimes use them in combination if that worked
Yes.
best for the dog, and that would be okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, that's fantastic. You nailed it. We're now going to take a break.
Oh, rock and roll.
So thank you all for
That was
being
smooth.
sorry.
No, no,